We are live. Straight Politicking on all you mofos. I'm Alex Alonso 101 on all platforms, and I'm sitting here with Munchie B, the mayor. Morals Over Money is the new YouTube platform, and it's going up over there.
Yes, Sirski.
What you got? What you got popping next for the new platform?
Expanding so I can reach a broader audience. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to tap in to Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I could, reach a bigger audience. You know what I'm saying? And just keep dropping this content.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't even be able to listen to us if we weren't on. What are we on? Alexa. She plays it off of her Alexa.
And that's Amazon.
That's Amazon, yeah.
Yep.
She don't go to YouTube.
Yep.
She plays it right off of Alexa.
Yeah, I do sometimes too. When I get caught up on StreetTV content, want to listen back to Straight Politicking, what we did, or At Your Heart episodes, which we gonna continue doing. Like I hop on Alexa, play At Your Heart podcast. You know what I'm saying? Then they get going.
And here's a little game for some of you guys in the business or wanting to get in the business or start off in the business, is that if you want to reach that audience, you have to do the extra step of posting your audios to a platform, and all the serious creators do it.
Mm-hmm.
I scroll through the Apple Podcasts shows, and I see some of the people in our section are on there, but not all of them do it.
That's how you can tell who's serious about their business and really they serious about their craft as far as journalists and podcast type get up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I see different logos in the Apple Podcast, I already know they're on their grind.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely taking it serious. But I've been frustrated with some people that I've been working with, where I tell them, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and they don't even. Either they're ignoring me, they're not considering it, or maybe they're kind of like you. It takes a few months. It takes maybe a year before you get the motion going.
Oh yeah, no, I eventually get it going though and figure. You know what I'm saying? Pick up what you putting down.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yesterday on No Jumper, me, Remo, Ricky, and Suspect was talking about Jay-Z, and he decided to go with Bad Bunny to headline the Super Bowl. So when I heard Bad Bunny, I'm like, Bad Bunny? They're like, no, that's Bad Baby. I thought it was the Catch Me Outside girl. They was like, oh, Bad Bunny, okay. Now, because you from Puerto Rico.
Oh, well, not technically. I'm not. My parents are.
Okay, you got some Puerto Rican roots.
Correct.
Okay, now he's from Puerto Rico. So now, what I was saying was, why would he choose him to headline the Super Bowl if he raps in Spanish and can't nobody understand him, for one? So I'm thinking in my mind, everybody gonna walk away from the TV at halftime, probably go take a smoke break, go socialize, get on the phone, and I don't think that's gonna be having the ratings up at halftime. And then I just didn't think it was a good idea, but Remo said that was a business decision. I'm like, how? Right? So as young Ann like to point out, pay attention to the chat. So I was when I went home, I was paying attention to the chat, and my brown brothers, my Latinos, and Hispanics, whatever, was on my head, right? And I'm like, I can't win. As either I'm taking up for Lefty, and the blacks is getting on me, or now I say this. All right, boom. So look. So being a journalist, a podcaster, I'm like, let me do my due diligence since I don't know too much about Bad Bunny, right? So I'm like, okay, he appeared in over 70-some movies. I'm like, okay. And then I played like 3 of his songs. I can't understand what he's saying, of course. I speak English, but it got a little bounce to it. Like, even if you don't know what he's saying, it got a little bounce to it. Okay. And then he's in a relationship with Kendall Jenner, the more quiet, off the radar sister. And then, but I said, what percentage of Puerto Rico watches the NFL? And they say less than 1%. So I'm like, how's that a good business decision? Is it because you want to tap more into the Puerto Rican demographic and have them watching it more? Because it ain't gonna go nothing up but like a 2%.
Well, no, I think Bad Bunny is listened to like in South America, which is probably over a billion people. I don't know.
Okay.
So it's not just Puerto Rico's too small to have any impact on any economic decision.
Okay.
But he is definitely listened to around the world. He's a global artist. So yeah, I think it was a great decision. And even though
Tell me else or why else? Okay, why else?
Well,
Because I'm gonna bring this up later. Because I'm optimistic and I'm open minded. So I wasn't just about to like say that and then just not look. You know what I'm saying? Look into it and see why people feel the way they feel.
well, he's a multi-platinum artist. He's got a gang of hits. He's got a bunch of collabs with English artists. I think he's done a song with Cardi.
Drake.
Yeah,
But I think Drake got a beef with he would man, he got a beef with Jay-Z and Cash Money don't, you know what I'm saying? So if Bad Bunny asks Drake to come out on his set during the Super Bowl, I wonder would he do it?
no, it's gonna be an entertaining show, even for those who might not be reggaeton fans or understand
What you call it?
reggaeton,
Okay.
which is really the music that Puerto Rico has pushed globally, even though some believe it was started in Panama, others say Colombia, but definitely Puerto Rico put reggaeton on the map.
Reggaeton.
Yeah.
So that's why even though he's speaking in Spanish, it got a different little vibe.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, reggaeton. I'm about to text that to myself so I can remember it.
Okay, let me see if you know this question. Which rap artist, American-born rap artist who's still relevant today, but this happened over 20 years ago, was the first one to bring a reggaeton flavor to his music?
He's an American artist.
Yeah, he was born on the East Coast.
Shit, Shaggy.
Nah, Nori. Nori had Daddy Yankee on a song in like 1999 when no one really was up on reggaeton, and he thought this was the music of the future.
Reggae, THON.
I think it's just TON, reggaeton.
TON.
Yeah. So yeah, Nori gets a lot of credit for introducing the American audience to reggaeton music, and then integrating it into a rap song.
Okay.
So now you go to Puerto Rico, it's all blended rap and reggaeton. So I'm sure Nori is very proud of doing that merge.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he get the do he get the flowers for it?
I think that people on the East Coast know that, but not on the West Coast. Yeah. I mean, that's why Nori is who he is today, man. The guy was an innovator in the 90s. He did a song where the hook was just one word. What? What? You ever heard that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, that was the song. What? That was the hook. What?
Hey, no. That song's oh, you paid attention to the chat. That's the thing I know, Jumper. You know what I'm saying? Young ain't always crying. Y'all gotta start. He'd be the main one paying attention to it. But sometimes it's good to pay attention to it because I want to know why the viewers, the chat felt like they felt. And they felt strongly about it. But then I had one brown brother say, F all that. I mess with Bad Bunny, but I want to hear that gangster shit. I'm like, okay, he's an Americanized, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he want to hear some Snoop Dogg. But yeah, I follow you though. No, I have to tap in with Bad Bunny though, but
They got him here as the king of the Latin trap music.
trap music. They put trap with anything.
Yeah. He's definitely.
Somebody I think Flacco said, "Oh yeah, Munchie." They said you created West Coast drill. What is that? So, anybody talking gangsta on the song is real music now? I thought drill was a sound.
Well, I'll definitely be tapping in. There's another big artist. Maybe he's not as big as Bad Bunny, but Osuna. Osuna, he's been quiet for the last couple of years, but Bad Bunny has been consistent over the years. Cardi B did a song with Osuna back in 2018.
I like Cardi, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, another crazy story out of your hometown, man. Inglewood's been in the news. First, it's the serial killer, your boy Prowell. And now it's Maurice Hastings. Maurice Hastings is a brother who spent 38 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. And can you imagine when you're convicted of a sexual crime? He was convicted for sexual assault.
So he's on a PC yard
and murder. Yeah, and imagine him having to get rolled up off a yard for being convicted of a crime
He didn't do.
they had nothing to do with.
So what?
So now he's 72 years old, and here, let me read a little bit here. An innocent man who spent 38 years behind bars in California was awarded $25 million in what lawyers call the largest wrongful conviction settlement in state history. Maurice Hastings, 72, was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Oh, he was LWOP'd. Life in prison without parole in connection to a 1983 sexual assault and murder of Roberta Weidermeyer, who was killed by a single gunshot to the head. The lawsuit accused 2 Inglewood Police Department officers and the LADA investigating at the time of framing Hastings. No amount of money could ever restore the 38 years of my life that were stolen. But man, I wonder where these 2 officers are at today.
What's their names?
That's what I'm about to say.
They putting people addresses out. The Rakim boy, they put his complete address out in the press. But what's these officers' names that had this man sitting down for almost 4 decades?
I hate when they don't even release their mugshots when they get arrested. They're always protecting the police officers, even after they're charged with a crime. Where's the mugshots?
IPD strikes again, bro. Hey, man.
This is 1983, man.
Hey, I gotta pump Alex up to do certain shit on my behalf, bro. We need to do. I want a doc done on Inglewood Police, bro. Or I'm talking about the smaller agencies, not LAPD. For the smaller agencies, what has been the most corrupt agency? You got IPD, you got CPD before there was the sheriffs. You got, as far as Southern California, which one has did the most dirt for the smaller agencies? We're not talking about LAPD.
Okay, maybe. So what about the sheriffs, like the Lenox Division?
Okay,
I heard they pretty rough.
Yeah, you could break sheriffs down into they little.
The Century Division of the sheriffs has been pretty.
Which one is Century though? I know Lenox, but what is considered Century?
Century is just way over there off of where the Athens Parks is at.
Okay,
a lot of their hood is in county. Some of their hood is in county, so they interact with the sheriff. They're right. The Compton sheriffs, which are the newer sheriffs, are closest to the Century sheriffs. I always thought that when they created Compton that they were just going to share the station with Century, but Compton got its own station for the sheriffs.
Oh man, I forgot. I'm mad I didn't bring this up before we start shooting.
What's that? Man,
I sent you something, bro. Them T-Flats did a drive-by on the police when they was knocking on somebody's door and the T-Flats drove past busing.
Oh man, I missed it. I scrolled through that whole message too.
Man, you be tripping. We go catch it though.
All right. Well, let me play a clip here of Maurice Hastings. Now, this is an older clip because he got his case overturned a couple of years ago, but he just won that money the other day. But here's a clip of when he was released from prison.
He spent more than half his life in prison, but today, Maurice Hastings' name was officially cleared. Hastings was released from custody last October after his conviction was vacated.
And today in downtown Los Angeles, it was another emotional day in his journey.
Marla Tejas is here with more.
It's hard to imagine what he has endured and what he is feeling tonight. Maurice Hastings spent almost 40 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. Early this afternoon in a downtown LA courtroom, a judge approved a motion that officially clears his name and finds him factually innocent. Here's that moment.
All right, Mr. Hastings, good luck to you, sir. I hope things work out for you. Thank you very much. Anything else, Ms. McCullough?
I wish it's real far.
Go ahead.
A round of applause for 69-year-old Maurice Hastings this afternoon. Him smiling there moments after his name was officially cleared. Hastings was wrongfully convicted for the 1983 kidnapping and murder of a 20-year-old Inglewood woman. He spent 38 years imprisoned. Over the last few years, the Los Angeles Innocence Project at California State University, LA, worked on his behalf to free him, and in October, his conviction was vacated. This is thanks to some new DNA evidence. As you might imagine, Hastings is relieved and looking forward to the future.
I'm grateful for the judge's ruling. I'm grateful for the district attorney's office and agreeing with it, the apologies and everything. It's been wonderful today. I'm ready to move forward with my life. You know, I'm a happy man right now.
Look at that smile. You heard him thank the district attorney's office. Well, that's because LA County DA George Gascon, along with the LA Innocence Project, sought today's motion to factually clear Hastings' name. Gascon says he's proud the injustice has been corrected, but said the evidence in this case should have been tested 2 decades ago. Now,
Okay, so that was before the lawsuit came down. That's him being released from prison through the LA County CCB courtroom.
That get me like angry a little bit, bro.
It's bizarre that even as 1983, yeah, it was a long time ago, but 1983 was modern. Like, how do you get away with framing people? We understand this happened in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, but as time progresses, it is becoming increasingly more difficult to frame people for crimes they didn't commit. But damn, they got away with this in 1983. And the DNA is actually, the DNA that was responsible for killing that 20-year-old woman was linked to a whole nother person that his name is Kenneth Packnett. Packnett was arrested on a whole nother crime, but he died in prison in 2020. So DNA did not exist in 1983, unfortunately, but the good thing is that they saved the evidence. They put all that evidence into a box, they put it into storage, and as new technology comes out, they could retest that evidence, and that's what got him exonerated. But the part that probably got you mad, Munchie, is when that technology came out 20 years ago, which would have been like 2000. Why didn't they test it then?
Nah, he got released at 69. He's 72 now. He ain't got that much life left, bro. And then when you do 38 years, imagine how much he lost over them years. And he came home to nobody. He probably came home to no mom, no father. All his family is gone. 30. You know how much can happen in 38 years?
Hell yeah.
Like that's toe up. He grateful for being home, but what he came home to and what he didn't miss. I don't even know if that man got kids. Was he able to even reproduce before he left? Like that, it just, man, I don't know. That's toe up, bro.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be able to at least, hopefully. Hey, the guy looks healthy. He's not overweight. He's in good shape.
He'll preserve you.
He looks fit and trim. So my guess is the guy got at least another. He can make it to the 90s.
Hey man, that's what I want, man. He ain't got no kids, man. I don't know if he interested. I just want him to have fun with the money he have, travel everywhere. And excuse my French, pay for all the PUSSY you want. Do it up because you missed it. Have fun. Bro, you won't hear this from me much, but be a trick. Just, you know what I'm saying? Have fun. Enjoy your life because they took, come on, bro. They took life from him. Like, that's 4 decades, 2 years short of 4 decades, bro.
Okay, so maybe that's, I think what influenced this settlement that they gave him is, one, his age, because they gave him the highest settlement in the history of California. And let me play the clip on that right now.
The city of Inglewood has agreed to pay a record $25 million settlement to Maurice Hastings. He's 72 years old now. He was wrongfully imprisoned for a 1983 robbery and homicide and sexual assault that he did not commit. Hastings was set free in October of 2022 after new DNA test results conclusively pointed to the real perpetrator, a convicted sex offender with a long history of crimes. That man died in prison in 2020 while serving time for a separate kidnapping and rape. Hastings' attorneys say this is the largest ever wrongful conviction settlement in California history. Hastings, though, says no amount of money could ever restore the years he lost, and he looks forward to moving on with his life.
No amount of money can restore the time, all that he lost. Come on, man. You get your money back, you get a broad back, you get your job back, but you can't get time back. That's one thing you could never get back, bro.
Nah, man. That's why they gave him that $25 million, man. They said, let's break the bank for this brother. We, well, I'm sure they weren't we. Those guys in 1983 did an injustice. We today are here to correct it, I'm sure is what they said.
Man, Maurice Hastings, bro. Ooh, hey, we need to find him. I wanna interview this dude. I want to find him. I know he ain't nowhere near Inglewood today, right?
Why not? Why not?
What?
Come back home.
He up.
Yeah.
He up. He up, bro. Like he's somewhere living good as he should, and he deserve it. Man, hey, the only thing I wish for him is more life because he missed a lot of it. So, man, God, at least get this man 30 more years on earth. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I remember one of the highest settlements in California history was in, before this one, obviously, was Javier Ovando. Got a $15 million. He didn't even, he only did about a year and a half in prison, but the LAPD shot him, paralyzed him, then planted a gun on him because he was unarmed at the time. He was an 18th streeter, so it was easy to convict him. Sent him to prison. He was sentenced to like some ridiculous time, but within a year and a half, they found out it was all lies, and they gave him $15 million. At that time, I think that was in around 99 or 2000. That was the highest settlement ever.
At least it didn't take as long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he lost his ability to walk though.
Right.
So that's some people like, nah, I don't know if 15 million is worth being paralyzed.
Right. Agreed.
That's like you can't put an amount on that. And then his daughter was also able to sue his little daughter because the grounds of her lawsuit was the state is affecting my relationship with my dad because you guys paralyzed him. So I forget how much they wrote the daughter a check for, but this brother broke the bank, man. $25 million.
Salute to him. More life for sure.
I hope he manages it.
Man, he ain't worried about managing. He ain't got that much. Man, he's 72.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna start doing some interviews.
We go find him first, man. Maurice Hastings.
Yeah.
You know, old people, they use their first real names on Facebook and shit.
It says here that he lives in Southern California and he's active with his church. So he shouldn't be difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want the names of those Inglewood police officers that framed him back in 1983. And I wonder how much longer did they stay with the department and continue as police officers.
Probably retired as an upstanding officer, and they not.
But I'm glad that they pointed out that he was framed. Not that it was an accident, not that the jury got it wrong, not that the prosecution was overzealous. No, they framed him. So that means they knew all along he didn't do it, but shoot, we got him here, let's convict him for it. Which is, I think that the prosecutor, my dad used to say this all the time, if you indicted prosecutors and cops on wrongful conviction cases, that would end. Wrongful conviction cases would end immediately if you held them accountable once one was exposed. You know,
Agreed.
Go back and find that prosecutor, charge them. Go back and find those 2 detectives, charge them. It would end wrongful convictions, but because we have this thing called qualified immunity, they're immune from prosecution when these things happen.
I agree with Pops.
Yeah, but we'll see if that ever happens. All right, man. I wish this guy so much life because he's already 72. I hope he makes it into his 90s. And shout out to the Innocence Project. I worked with the Innocence Project on a few cases, including the Hoover one. That Hoover one was an Innocence Project case with Gumby and Obie Anthony. That was an Innocence Project case. So, they got a nice, I know Obie got a nice amount of money for that 17 years, $8 million. But damn, that's like a third of what Maurice Hastings got.
Shout out Obi Anthony.
All right. I wanted to talk about this MS-13 case out in Baltimore, man, because this is a good case to let all the kids know about the trappings of being involved in gang life. So let me run this down really quick. Three members of MS-13 were just convicted in a federal indictment in Baltimore. So let me pull up the article on this, and also have a clip. But the U.S. Justice Department indicted a whole bunch of MS-13 guys a year ago, and they were just convicted. So a federal grand jury just convicted three men, Wilson Galdomez, Marco Saravia, 26, from El Salvador originally, and Edis Venezuela Rodriguez, known as Little Felon, 24 years old, of Honduras, and Jonathan Puerto, known as Truni, who's 24, of Honduras. They were convicted for conspiring to participate in racketeering enterprise involving murder, attempted murder, and a murder in aid of racketeering. According to the court documents and evidence presented at trial, the defendants were members of MS-13 and are originally from immigrants from Central America, and were engaged in criminal activity in the state of Maryland, including Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and other places in Maryland. MS-13 have well-organized cliques, smaller groups, et cetera, and in this particular case, these three guys were found guilty, but they weren't found guilty without the testimony of other MS-13 members, Munchie. So let me play the short clip, and this is for all the youngsters out there. This is how it's going down in many places throughout the United States.
Well, another member of the MS-13 gang took the stand against three fellow members currently on trial in a federal racketeering conspiracy case. Investigators say the conspiracy involves several murders and attempted murders across greater Baltimore, including that of a 16-year-old girl. Alexa Ashwell has the very latest.
The jury has wrapped for the day here inside federal court. Three MS-13 gang members have now testified against the three MS-13 members currently standing trial on federal racketeering-related charges. At least two have already taken plea agreements, including Walter Orella Hernandez, who took the stand today on behalf of the U.S. government. He testified his involvement, along with the defendants, in several crimes, including the murder of 16-year-old Gabby Arden at Loch Raven Reservoir in Baltimore County back in 2020. The murder of Michelle Elizabeth Tenzaka in Baltimore City. Orlana Hernandez confirming the women were killed under suspicion they were associating with the rival 18th Street gang, but agreed he knew that specifically wasn't true for Tenzaka. And at least two attempted murders. Now, during cross-questioning, the defense reiterated his involvement in the crimes, as well as the benefits in testifying, hoping for a lighter sentence, avoiding deportation, and possibly getting into the federal witness security program. This questioning on par with the defense's opening statement to the jury, saying the members are simply testifying to save themselves, and there's a credibility issue on their testimony. When this trial began last week, it was said it's expected to last at least 4 weeks. Witness testimony will continue tomorrow. Reporting outside the federal courthouse, Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Those guys were already convicted thanks to their former colleagues from the set.
And MS and 18th Street, they going up everywhere.
Yeah, man. They're going up like right down the street from our studio here. There's an MS and 18th Street. Basically, that's where it started. The MS 18th Street rivalry started right there in the Pico Union area, right off of between Pico and Wilshire down Hoover, and it's spread all over the world. And here we are in Baltimore talking about 18th Street and MS-13 rivalry, 3,000 miles away. But boys and girls, don't join gangs because, one, you might get caught up in a serious indictment and you might have to sit down for about 20, 25 years. And secondly, your former colleagues might come to court and testify against you, especially if they're trying to prevent themselves from getting deported back to their home countries, or they don't want to do that whole 20 years, 25 years. They want to get a lesser sentence. So I think this case right here is a great example for the young folks.
No, agreed.
So this was in federal court too, and this was over a investigation that lasted 18 months. And there are others that are awaiting trial or have already been convicted, but there were multiple defendants on this case, but 3 of them decided to cooperate. And I don't think you're going to get a case that has, let's say, a case that has 10 or more people on it. Maybe if you have, I'm thinking like, is there a case with, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 or more people where everyone keeps their mouth shut? You know, other than that motorcycle one that we know in Texas. You familiar with that one?
Yeah, they did that. They in the books for that one.
Yeah,
that history.
Yeah, and that was at least like almost like 70 people arrested.
That was gangster.
Yeah. How do you manage to have that much composure when the group is that large?
Robin, good morning. Law enforcement here still very much on guard this morning. You know, in the wake of the shooting, a statewide bulletin was issued stating that gangs had an order to kill anyone in uniform. This morning, newly released mugshots of some of the 170 bikers taken into custody after the shootout that left 9 dead and 18 injured at this Texas restaurant. They appear to include members of the notorious Bandidos, Scimitars, and Cossacks biker gangs. This video shows the chaos unfolding, violence starting in the restroom and quickly spilling out into the parking lot. The bikers using brass knuckles, knives, chains, clubs, and guns.
170 individuals have been charged with engaging in organized crime in reference to a capital murder case at Twin Peaks.
Cops lining up the gang members on the curb, loading them into buses and squad cars. Each gang member being held on a $1 million bond. Investigators were still processing the crime scene Monday, gathering evidence with snipers on the lookout. Are you worried at all about possible retaliation?
Certainly something that we are aware of.
Edward Winterhalter was a member of the feared Bandidos for 6 years.
They lost something in their childhood, and in the motorcycle club they find the sense of family that they never had.
He's written 10 books on biker culture. He says for bikers, territory is everything.
I think the potential for more violence is there.
The Bandidos have a saying, cut one, we all bleed. The ruthlessness featured on the show Gangland.
Fastest on the highway, and that'd be a mistake.
Charles Falco is a former ATF contractor who spent years trying to take out these gangs. He requested we not show his face.
At least half of them are involved in some sort of constant criminal activity.
According to the Department of Justice, there are more than 300 so-called outlaw motorcycle gangs across the country with thousands of members. But the Bandidos, along with 4 other biker gangs, are classified as the serious national domestic threat. The feds say involved in everything from drug trafficking to prostitution. 2 big questions this morning. How will prosecutors try all 170 people in custody? And will they pursue the death penalty?
And they all walked.
Yeah, they all had to be released. And you know what? If everybody in the county jail, if everyone in the county jail did these 2 things, keep their mouth shut and request for speedy trial, more of you people would beat your cases. Because the county jail and the LA court system is not prepared for everyone to request a speedy trial, which is your constitutional right. You notice how, I don't know if you pay attention to this, but the courts are always saying, such and such defendant, are you willing to waive your right for speedy trial?
Yeah, waive time.
Yeah, you want to waive your time because they
want you to.
Yeah, they want you to because there's no way they can do all these trials. So once they got that out the way, once you've given up that right, boom, they got you in a great position to either make you take a deal or wash you up.
But then you got these public defenders that'll be like, they suggest that you should waive time. Oh, I need more time to look into this. We gather this and we could bring you back. And you know what I'm saying? And really, you should just move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you It depends, because
murder cases take time.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to rush yourself into a life sentence. Like murder cases, you know, over time laws change. There be new case laws every day. Witnesses forget things. Witnesses die over the time. If the case going on for 3-4 years, and he might have died last year, and that was the star witness. So sometimes it's in your benefit to waive time and take your time with the case.
Yeah, because everybody else in the county jail might be doing the same thing. The point is, everyone has to go to speedy trial. I mean, if there's 400 people,
You don't have to. I think what you mean? Everybody have to go.
Meaning that no one should be giving up their right.
Oh.
If everyone maintains that right, the court system cannot handle you.
They'll be overwhelmed.
Yeah. So at some point you're gonna get released.
Right.
And then they might, if it's a serious enough case, they'll probably refile on you, hopefully within the statute of limitations, if they can, or they might just say, forget it, we got more important things to worry about, you know. But of course, everyone's concerned about their own case, what's going to happen to me. So, like you said, they might want to, you know, take more time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the witnesses are going to do. Let's see how much more discovery we can get. Now, of course, you know, that's all fine too, because in the real world, most people are going to waive time. They're going to waive time. And
early on in the 60 indictment, Big U was trying to press the gas and just speedy something, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen. You recall that or no?
Nah, I don't.
He was trying to press the gas, and the lawyer, and he ended up having to get on with that lawyer, and whatever. They said the lawyer was real oblivious and nonchalant.
But in many instances, when you waive time, it allows the government to get their witnesses. Like in this MS case, they were able to flip 3 of them. They were able to flip 3. And
you can't say if this was a good or a bad thing, no, because if that's gonna flip anyway, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, with murders, you gotta kind of like this.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes some convincing to flip a witness. Like when they had Sammy The Bull Gravano, which is a great example because
he made up an excuse. All right, that's if you believe his narrative and why he flipped and oh Gotti was, bro.
Yeah, they convinced him that John Gotti was not your friend and he was about to put you on the hit list. You know?
No, that ain't what he said. He said he wanted him to sacrifice himself. Like, take this.
Yeah, that was true. That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean you just got snitch in you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it took any convincing, it was a thought from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like,
well, I'm not sure if your boy Diddy asked for a speedy trial, because it did happen pretty fast. It happened in less than a year. He went to trial in less than a year. So obviously he didn't waive time at all. And it kind of turned out in his favor.
Free Puffy.
And we could talk about that right now.
Take that. Free Puff, man. He ain't gonna do it again.
Diddy is about to be sentenced in the very near future, and they're asking for 11 years. Let me play this clip.
Prosecutors say Sean Diddy Combs deserves more than a decade in prison.
Megan Fees at the WKRN.com alert desk now with the new information ahead of Friday's sentencing. Megan.
Nicole Mark, federal prosecutors said in a new memo Combs should be in prison for at least 11 years, which is far more than what his defense attorneys are asking for. Combs will be sentenced Friday on 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution. Even though he was acquitted of the more serious charges, prosecutors tell the judge punishment for the crimes he was convicted of must take into account the manner in which he committed them. Prosecutors adding he was violent, abusive, and left victims in fear. Meanwhile, Combs' attorneys are seeking a prison sentence of no more than 14 months, amounting to about time served. Remember, News 2 brings you breaking news around the clock at WKRN.com.
Free Puff. So they asked for 14 months. That's not time served.
Yeah, I think that the defense has a good argument there of the time for the 14-month sentence, because that's actually the minimum. Initially, the government was asking for 5 or 6 years right after he got convicted, but I guess they took a lot of I guess, took a lot of heat from their colleagues over there, their bosses, and was like, wait up, we spent all this money, we did all these raids, and we need to at least get something for it.
That's they bad.
Yeah. And also, from if you look at the Mann Act, from what he was convicted of, it only carries 10-year sentence when it's convicted in a RICO case. Since his RICO he was found not guilty of the RICO, that means the Mann Act comes under a lesser sentence. So I think the defense attorneys are going to have a good chance arguing to the judge that 11 years is absolutely ridiculous, Your Honor.
Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs say they plan to appeal after the music mogul was sentenced to more than 4 years in prison yesterday.
It was an emotional day in federal court for Sean Diddy Combs, who wiped away tears at his sentencing Friday. Over the summer, the music mogul was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, involving 2 of his ex-girlfriends, including Cassie Ventura. Combs was acquitted of the most serious charges, racketeering and sex trafficking, avoiding the possibility of life in prison. During Friday's hours-long hearing in Manhattan, prosecutors described Combs as unrepentant, not a person who has accepted responsibility. The defense asked for a sentence of 14 months.
When my baby cries. We gotta give her a bottle then.
Combs' attorneys presented an 11-minute pre-produced video in court highlighting his family, career, and philanthropy. He wept as 6 of his children asked the judge for leniency. Combs' 18-year-old daughter, Delilah, pleading for a chance for her family to heal together. Combs then addressed the court himself, apologizing to his children and to Ventura. "I lost my businesses, my career, destroyed my reputation, lost my self-respect," he told the judge. "I've been humbled and broken to my core. I hate myself right now." Ultimately, the judge acknowledged the defense's characterization of Combs, but said a history of good works can't wash away the record of this case. And he ended by thanking the victims who testified, telling them, "I am proud of you for coming to the court to tell the world what really happened."
And the judge previously said Combs' year spent in prison would count toward his time. An attorney for Cassie Ventura said the sentence recognizes the impact of the serious offenses committed. Combs' attorneys, meanwhile, say they do plan to appeal.
I hope he get the minimum, man. Yeah. I think he gonna come home and I don't think he gonna be on the same BS he was one song.
Well, he's always on BS.
I don't think he gonna continue with it. I don't believe so.
I think he's.
But like he might think he tough now since he was in the feds, and he might think, oh, I did. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Please don't come home like that.
Well,
you wasn't there for no gangster-ish. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you in there sticking nobody or beating nobody up. You know what I'm saying? I know you grazing a couple palms, but you know what I'm saying? I do believe you learned somewhat of a lesson, man. Free that man. He ain't gonna do it again.
Yeah, I don't know if he learned his lesson. I would have thought he learned his lesson beating that attempted murder case back in 2001. He got acquitted of that, and then...
What that got to do with some PUSSY? It's not in the same vein, bro.
Yeah, but it's just staying low of the law.
You think anybody or himself thought he would go to jail for flying broads out and having sex and being freaky?
No, but when you're flying...
He didn't do no real crime.
Well, it's still illegal to fly a prostitute across state lines.
Why is he not being like... saying he guilty of blowing somebody's car up or being violent to somebody? That's like, you know what I'm saying? All this freaky thing, what he do with his private part, and because it was consensual.
Definitely.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the sex workers not complaining, the females ain't complaining, he not complaining. They all came, like, so. That if he was gonna be in trouble for anything, it should have been for putting his feet and his hands on a girl at that hotel room. He's not able to be convicted of that because of statute of limitations. So like, why is he not being convicted of the violent things like blowing up fools' cars and being in their house while they ain't home, putting their dogs in bathrooms and opening presents and shit?
Well, he definitely got away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he got away with a whole lot, but like nobody caring. Man, y'all sound like some haters. Y'all mad because he getting his rocks off or something? I don't know.
Well, he did use his money and fame to get out of ever being charged with the beating at the hotel. He pretty much, apparently he paid $100,000 and took everything, took the DVR, took all of that stuff.
Well,
he knew. Okay, I messed up today.
It depends on how you look at that.
But he knew he could have possibly went to jail for that.
A street person looking at it like, if you paid attention and you know, like, a girl left that room and then she caught a ride back up there and then the security turned her away like, nah, leave. Like, she tried to come back. That was her man, bro. Like, and it ain't cool to put your hands on no woman, but guess what? 75% of the viewers watching this had a physical altercation with their husband or wife. 75% of our viewers. And I don't care. It ain't just Street TV viewers. It's Vlad viewers, Joe Budden viewers, and especially No Jumper viewers. 75% is being physical.
Yeah, physical is vague though. How many? I bet you the number's much lower when you talk about kicking a girl that's down on the ground.
All I can say is physical.
Okay.
75% of the viewers on these large platforms, Street TVs, Vlad's, No Jumpers, Joe Buttons, Wallow and Gilly, they all what? No Jumper. Charlamagne went to jail for SA. I believe on what the dispossession was, but you know what I'm saying. But the outcome, but you know, like
they dismissed that case.
Yeah, they dismissed it, but you should have never been in that in the talks of that period.
But he was 20 years old, messing almost in the same situation as this singer David. I think the age he was 20 and the girl was 15.
See, hey, look, hey, if he was gonna be guilty, he should have been guilty of putting his hands and feet on that girl way back when. It didn't happen. It's evidently should the law say after a certain time leave it alone. So hey,
and he's got one of the best lawyers, I believe. Did you say that Steele was
he stepped in?
He came in at some point.
I think Brian Steele the best attorney in America, if you ask me.
Yeah. But also, Mark Garagos's daughter was on the legal team, doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Diddy did assemble a very expensive legal team, and this is also another issue. If it wasn't Diddy, if it was just somebody else, they may have been convicted of everything. But because Diddy could afford the lawyers that are going to bring in the type of defense that's required, it just shows that our system, our justice system, is based on who has enough money to fight it.
Well, if it was somebody else, they wouldn't even be in jail. It wouldn't be a thing.
But no, there's quite a few people get convicted of the Mann Act.
Man, listen, we talking about
That
the
aren't
particulars.
famous.
We talking about the particulars in the same fashion. They got locked up, and for the reasons they wouldn't be in jail for this. Me, I wouldn't have went to jail for it. I would have went to jail at the hotel. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have went to jail for this. This wouldn't have been a thing. It wouldn't have been at my house getting baby oil and baby lotion and all that shit in it. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been a thing about sex work. Like, it would have got overlooked. They just looked at these females as some hood rats, and you know what I'm saying? that would have been that.
Yeah, you might have got arrested at the hotel though.
Right. That would have been my thing. I would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have been out already.
Yeah.
How many years ago that was?
I think that was 2016.
I would have been out. You know what I'm saying? I would have got locked up way back in 2016.
And that would have been just a state case. That wouldn't have been no federal indictment.
Right, but see, people, these gangsters like the snitch and act like they just like jailhouse Johnny Cochran's. Like, I just recently got a DA reject, and people these days, DA rejects is coming way easier because of the law that they put with this magic review, to where they not letting everybody bail out. So the fact that you're not bailing out as easy, they giving out ORs more easier.
Wait, you got a DA reject?
No. I didn't mean to say that.
Okay.
I meant to say OR. I'm glad you caught that. They getting ORs. You know what I'm saying? Getting ORs more easier because you're not bailing out as easy I'm telling you, it kind of like panned out a little bit. Now, and it was a lawsuit because people were saying people was able to get out of jail because they got the money to do so, versus somebody that's poor, don't have it, and they got to sit there. And there was a lawsuit that was in play from multiple people, and that's what motivated them to change the law. Like, you just can't bail out like that. You know what I'm saying? And hence being a reason why I was there sitting up with no bail, just for a regular gun case. And when I went to court, they gave me an OR. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people got to be law savvy, man.
Yeah, I actually posted about this on YouTube. I wrote here that the California Supreme Court's 2021 in Humphrey decision and the subsequent October 2023 policy change in LA County have significantly impacted how OR releases are handled now.
Telling you.
Now, that call that you had with
IPD Jeller,
she said something about there was a law that happened 2 years ago.
Right.
So this is the October 2023 policy change, and in a Humphreys decision from 2021, where the California Supreme Court ruled that detaining someone solely because they cannot afford bail is unconstitutional. Judges must now consider a defendant's ability to pay and explore non-financial releases such as OR release before setting cash bail.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, but look, the law book says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, like, you have people that like will go to jail, and then they'll take a deal for something they didn't understand, and then they're like, hold on, and they end up doing 7 years instead of they thought they was gonna do 3.5 because they're not understanding what is being said in court. But it says ignorant of the law is no excuse. So you got to be sharp and know what you got to be up on what's going on, man. The laws change every day, every month, man. Stay woke.
So yeah, that means that since October of 2023, the number of ORs
increased,
have went up, have increased significantly. Los Angeles County zero bail policy, as a result of the Humphrey ruling, the Los Angeles County Superior Court implemented a zero bail protocol for most misdemeanors and certain non-violent felonies, which a gun possession is.
A gun is a misdemeanor. It only become a felony when you take a felony for it. So I'm in a hurry to get out of jail. They'll be like, okay, Mr. Banks, we give you 3 years felony probation, and you get released today. So I want to go home. So I'm going to take the 3 years felony probation. So I took a felony for a gun, and it's really a misdemeanor.
I think, though, if you already have a conviction, as you do, it's a felony if you're in possession of it. But it's a non-violent offense.
It's an extra charge. Okay,
for me, it'll be a misdemeanor because I don't have any convictions.
Man, look, you go to jail. I go to jail for one gun, but when it have all these charges, say live ammunition, ex-con with a firearm, that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It say all these charges, but it's really when you go to court, then eventually like just a gun or whatever. Man, look, bro, just don't be ignorant of the law, bro. Stay woke. Like, even people like pulling these burglaries, and it's a culture of flocking. If you break in somebody's house and they dog is there, that's home invasion.
Yeah.
That it's not just a burglary no more. People gotta know what's going on, bro. Like, people be, you know what I'm saying, want to break laws and shit, and you can't just be a dummy breaking laws because you go get yourself a life sentence, and being a criminal, being broke, it don't work, because then you go to jail and you got to pay for canteen, collect calls. Your family got to gas up to get up here. If you in prison, you want snacks out that vending machine, you go eat for them 6-8 hours you getting a visit. Packages cost. So, man, being a convict, an inmate, it costs you. So, man, just stay free, people.
Automatic OR release for most of these offenses. Eligible arrestees are either cited and released in the field or booked and released from jail on their own OR. And that's what you got.
Yeah. But I don't be feeling no need to explain myself. I just think it's a teachable moment for everybody, because there's some people that probably don't know these things. You know what I'm saying?
The only exceptions are for cases involving violent crimes, certain sexual offenses. I'm surprised they put certain. Certain sexual offenses are still subject to magistrate review. And there's been a lot of controversy about this because they say that this policy has been met with critics that say that you're allowing Munchie B to go free, and Munchie B has a history.
Whack. Oh, Paul wrote because he got all these ORs. Paul, he got. I'm like, man, why you want me locked up, brother? I got 2 daughters and a grandson, so I got to provide for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you want me locked up, sir?
Yeah. So people who aren't familiar, anyone who's talking about ORs is crazy. You get an OR. They're unfamiliar with the 2023 policy change in LA County, which the lady on the phone was the one that was trying to tell you that.
Yeah, but I was already aware of it because when it was on a ballot to be voted for, I was against it. Like, oh no, I need to be able to bail out. You say October, I thought it was September when it went into play, but it seemed like even back there in September, they was still letting people bail out. It was something going on to where they was held off on it. You know what I'm saying? So they was still allowing people to bail out or whatever. But my dad, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he was voting for like, forget the bails. And then he was like, because you're going to be more able to get ORs and more people get ORs. And I thought it sounded crazy. And look, he was right.
Yeah.
He going to be watching this.
Well, I would suggest for people to read the Humphreys decision, which you can download, the California Supreme Court case, which opened the door for these ORs in 2023. All right. Let's talk about Celeste Rivas.
I thought we did.
Nah,
she said the nigga shit.
We played that. I played that for you before we started recording.
Oh,
we never talked about it.
Yeah.
But there's been some updates on Celeste Rivas, the young girl who was found in David's trunk, his Tesla trunk. And I was thinking the other day, if David was driving that car and he got pulled over with the body in the trunk, what would have happened?
I mean, hey, bro, that's a smart car. They record everything. You recording on the dashboard. That's bad for a boyfriend to even shit out that car type shit. So for somebody to do a crime like that and put it in a Tesla, he was high on drugs and out of his mind or didn't care.
Do those cameras record even when the car is parked? I don't know a whole lot about the camera system on a Tesla.
It's a cop car. It ain't for no gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you not up to nothing, like, what if somebody try to get at you and you forced to buzz back? Like, them cars is not for street people. You know what I'm saying? That's a soccer mom car, if you ask me. But I don't know if it recorded at what point or whatever. But
also, the house had cameras all around it, but the owner of the house turned the system over to David. And he had the option. The owner informed the tenant, you can use it or you don't have to use it. As of now, we don't know what's been recorded around that house.
Oh, they ain't gonna share that with us.
Yeah, the police. If the police got it, they ain't gonna say nothing at this time.
Mm-mm.
But we'll find out in due time. But the latest update is that they issued out the death certificate for Celeste Rivas, and one of the things that we've learned is that she was not pregnant. And within the last year, she has not been pregnant. So they made those two
claims. They made them two claims.
Yeah. So this whole rumor about maybe she was killed because she was pregnant, that's completely debunked, 100% debunked.
I'm glad to hear that.
Month. ABC News has obtained records for the Riverside County Sheriff's Department that show deputies went to her home numerous times dating back to early 2022. Meanwhile, the death certificate for Rivas shows she was not pregnant when she died. The cause of death is still pending. The medical examiner is waiting for toxicology reports.
I'm glad to hear that. So he ain't looking like if he was dealing with her, it's still bad. But
we don't know that though, if he was dealing with her. So the death certificate stated that not only was she not pregnant, but she hasn't been pregnant within the last year.
And that's good news. That's good news for him. But is she like little sis to you or something? Because you got to explain the matching tattoos on their finger.
Well, the matching tattoos
could be little sis.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, a minor getting a tattoo. I don't know how when you're under 18, you can't really get a tattoo unless you're doing it yourself or you're somebody you getting the homie.
Yeah, but everybody like back in the day used to have somebody,
Yeah,
an older homie come sign for you or older female and act like they your sister or mom or something. And you just get tatted.
But the death certificate has not still established a cause of death. That is still up in the air, pending toxicology reports, which can take. I'm told that it could be months before the cause of death is determined. But if they were able to figure out that she hasn't been pregnant within the last year, that means they could pretty much run all the toxicology tests that they have at their disposal. They're going to run everything from cocaine to fentanyl, poisoned, different types of poisons to figure out what she ingested before she died.
I mean, you could pay attention to that or pay attention to why she in the truck instead of somebody calling the police like we need help.
What you mean?
Why is she in the trunk? That's the main thing. Why there? Why didn't nobody call the police like, hey, she OD'd or hey, she had a seizure or, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious it ain't no gunshot wound because we would have known that already. But the whole thing is foul. It's rule foul play period because she's in the trunk. So that's the, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well, being in the trunk is a whole different crime now.
No. When we talk about motive, we know she ain't pregnant, so he ain't like, okay, I got this young female pregnant, I need to get rid of her. That's ruled out. You know what I'm saying? You got this matching shish tattoo on the pointing finger, and from David and Celeste. Okay, that's one thing, but you could be like, oh, that's my little sis. You know what I'm saying? But this is your car, and then why is she in the trunk? And he got some explaining to do, but the burden of proof is on the district attorney. So shit, they got some research to do.
Well, there's been a couple of reports that stated that she could have been in that trunk now a month, at least a month, because of the level of decomposition, plus the hot weather. The hot weather in August of this year.
It's been a hot summer.
Yeah, up in the hills, it causes the body to decompose faster. So that created a problem for the medical examiner. But yeah, I don't think if it was some sort of gunshot, that may have been reported already. So
I doubt that.
What you mean?
I don't think it was a gunshot.
Oh yeah.
She might have been partying on people. She OD'd and they didn't want to call the police and they stored her in the trunk.
It could have been an accident. This whole thing could have just been an accident.
I mean, that could be considered an accident. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
So you know, if it's an accident, then her body being in the trunk is only a misdemeanor.
Nah.
Yeah, it is.
Nah, but
it's called the
If it's an accident, that'd be like some type of manslaughter. But when you put somebody in the trunk, then that's kind of what's the word? It's like premeditated almost. Like you had an option to call the authorities, bro. After that.
Yeah, but it's not a felony.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. I don't know.
I was trying to pull up the law on it.
Yeah, you don't know accident happen and you put her in the trunk and it's a misdemeanor. That don't happen.
Our first look at where R&B singer David's black Tesla was towed from only days before Celeste Hernandez's body was found decomposed in the car's trunk.
The car almost looks like it's been off road out in the desert or something. It's the wheel, wells are all beat up. There's a huge dent in the back.
Private investigator Steve Fisher obtained these images of the black Tesla from where it was towed and impounded from in Hollywood Hills, covered in dust.
Said a family member had contact with Celeste by text, and that was sometime in early July. You know, it's tragic to think that she was sitting in the front of that Tesla decomposing that whole time. But
according to Fisher, the initial call made for the abandoned car came in August 26th. Police inspected and ticketed it the 27th, cited it again September 3rd before it was towed on the 5th. 3 days later, workers at Hollywood Tow smelled an unusual odor and discovered Hernandez's body in the car's trunk. I mean, what do you think might have happened?
Could have been an overdose, and they panicked and hid her body, or because they probably didn't want to expose the relation. They're worried about exposing the relationship between him and a minor. And as unbelievable as it sounds, concealment of a body is a misdemeanor in California.
The unlawful handling of a corpse.
Nah, but I'm saying what you saying is a felony, but what before and that her ended up where she ended up at, that's not a felony together.
What if she OD'd on a drug that she was taking herself?
No, we could do like what if forever, but if she did it herself, why is she in the trunk? That's what I'm saying. She might have been doing some drugs, whatever she was doing with a group of friends, and they didn't want to call the police. Put her in the trunk and park the car.
Okay. Well, let's see, what else do we have on her? I want to play this clip. We have a video of her arguing with her neighbors back in September of 2024, which would have been a year ago. But another thing that came up is that she had been telling everyone in David's circle, D4vd, that she was 18 or 19 years old and that she was a student at USC. So it sounds as if, and she had multiple IDs. She had fake IDs that put her at this age. So my question is,
have you seen a picture of her?
Oh yeah, I've seen a few pictures of her.
Is she a nice looking young lady?
Yeah, she's a very pretty girl.
Okay, do her body look mature? And it's a disclaimer. We just trying to figure out if, like, you know what I'm saying, why would they believe that she's of age? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how the viewers could get, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think she had a pretty nice physique at 5'3", 120. I've only seen one photo of her from top to bottom, from head to toe, and she definitely looks like a young lady.
Okay.
She don't look like, you know, technically she's a girl. She's a kid.
Of course.
But she does look like a young lady.
All right.
And people were surprised to find out that she was 14 when the news came out that she died, because people were saying on Discord, oh, she was telling us she went to USC, which of course you got to be 18 years old as a freshman at SC.
Where did they get the idea that she was somehow a 19-year-old going to USC as a college kid?
I know. Isn't that just so crazy? Because, you know, we think, how does a 14-year-old child present as a 19-year-old woman? And I was told that these people were just so sure that she was a college student. They were specific. They said that she attended USC from what they believed. And also she was seen at events where there's age restrictions, you know, clubs and parties and stuff like this, where she had to be at least of 18 years old to get in. And we do know from law enforcement sources that she did have several fake IDs as well. So she was able to get into places where there was age restrictions.
I wonder how much of this information did David know? Did David know her true age? Some people say he did know her age, but of course he's going to say, no, I didn't know that, right? His lawyers are probably going to tell him, don't even address none of that stuff about his age.
He ain't going to do no talking.
Yeah.
He ain't, man, bro. Everybody not lose kidding. He's not about to do no talking.
Yeah. Hey, we got to learn from this nerd alternative singer dude. This guy has said absolutely nothing.
And he's not going to.
Yeah. What do you think about him moving out of the house after the police raided it and searched it? He packed up he got a U-Haul truck the next day, had some movers pack up the truck, and he was gone.
He rented that house, so it might be the owner's decision.
No. He had to break the lease.
Okay.
He went to the owner.
Yeah, but now everybody know where he live.
Yeah, that
people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't want him giving those Scott Peterson interviews.
No, yeah, understood.
But some people are trying to point to that as like, oh, you're hiding.
No, that's stupid to think that.
Yeah,
bro, he's a celebrity. Everybody gonna know where he live now.
Yeah, anyone could the media will be out there every day.
Right.
Now the fact that he moved to who knows where, the media has no access to him.
Right.
So I thought it was a okay
decision.
Yeah, it does not point to guilt in no way, shape, or form. Here's another question. I was looking this up. If you have sex with an underage girl that lied about her age, how much of a defense do you have? If you're charged, and in some states, in some courts, will give you some grace if the evidence is overwhelming that this person lied. Some states don't care.
I'd rather elaborate on that right there with a female here. I want a female guest co-host to come, and then, you know what I'm saying? I like to hear they views on that.
Because
I think a lot of the female guests that we had in the past, they've lied about their age and put it up.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
But I would just like to cover that with a female being here. You know what I'm saying? That'd be interesting.
Yeah, most girls lie about their age when they're teenagers.
Nina Beretta, pull up, man. We need your female expertise and your views coming from a female standpoint.
But in certain jurisdictions that they don't care if the person lied about their age. It is upon you to know the truth. So I thought that was interesting because it's not consistent across the country on how underage girls who lie about their age is treated in the court system.
I don't even want to elaborate. I love that have a female right here because I feel more comfortable, and then I don't, you know what I'm saying, the viewers, they get to deem you a predator and all kind of shit, man.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the law. I'm not talking about me or what I would do. I'm talking about how these cases get prosecuted in the court. Like, for example, it is very difficult to find a case, a sexual assault case between a 20-year-old and a 14-year-old. There's not a lot of them.
How you know that exact age? What make you look for that?
I went through the Megan's Law database.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked at ages in the Megan's Law database, and especially David was 17 when he met her. So
and she was 11 or some shit.
She was 12. Yeah.
I don't know about that. He knew her age.
There's two issues, and not the least of which is that this is an underage girl. Did not make her 15th birthday. She spent it rotting in that trunk. Is it possible that there'll be no charges at all in this case? No murder, no sex charges, no underage crimes with children? Like, what do you see coming out of this, at the very least?
What is the evidence that we have that any crime occurred? Well, we know that there's a body in a trunk. But what evidence do we have connecting David to any actual crime? She told her friends that he was that they were in a relationship. What does that mean? She left her house. That was a very, very troubled situation. How do we know that he had anything to do with that? There's no evidence against this man for any crime that I can see.
How about witnesses? Because the friends of David spoke with TMZ, and they all held out that they thought that they were a couple. They held themselves out as a couple. She said that she was 19 and a college kid, and they were absolutely romantic.
Proving my point. If he thought that she was overage, then it's not a crime. But what does...
Oh, that's not true. Ignorance of the law. You can't have a relationship with an underage girl and say, well, she told me she was 19.
Hire me if that ever happens. Because I think you can.
Yeah.
You know her age.
Yeah, but here's the thing also.
I ain't gonna be able to prove it, but he knew it.
Yeah. And then you got to be able to prove that they had sex. And here's something that I recently learned about. I don't know how you feel about this, but the generation that was born in 2000, what are we calling this generation? Is it Generation Y? Well, whatever this generation is of people that are in their 20s now and late teens is the least sexually active generation in modern time. They're having the least amount of sex, and the reason why is because of the internet and social media. People are...
I don't know about the reason. That's stupid. Why would that make sense?
Well, I'm not going to say it's stupid because this is...
Why would that make sense?
This is being researched by professionals.
What's their research? Where are they getting their data from?
Well, they survey hundreds, if not thousands of people and ask them, hey, how come you're not having sex? You're 18, you're handsome, you're pretty, and you're still a virgin.
Why is they saying the internet, though?
Because the internet has done a significant job at reducing human contact.
So you can play up more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know if
I don't know if that's a good reason. But
I'm just saying that this generation is not as sexually active as previous generations.
I could believe that. I could believe that.
And I'm glad to hear that because my kids are in this generation. I don't want them having a lot of sex. But I don't know. I was just saying that the reason
it probably reflect on teenage pregnancy, like they not having babies as young.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I could respect that data, but to say the internet, I can't really that shit sounds sound like a good, you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't sound like a plausible reason.
No.
Man, I saw this.
I think it will heighten it.
I saw this chart that broke down how much time humans spend in their day, and it went from the 40s to the present, and it has these different categories: how much time you spend with family, friends, work. And then once the internet comes in the 90s on this chart, it's a moving chart. Once it gets into the 2000s, the internet is the most thing that people spend their time on. Friends, family, work, all these other categories are reduced. So I don't think you can underestimate the impact that the internet has had on our socialization.
No, they like to blame the internet on everything. That ain't it, man. That's a gateway to coochie.
For some it is, you know.
That's come on, man.
But I think it's easier to go to the mall, go to the beach, to go to the store and meet women. That's far more easier than the internet. You're gonna be meeting people that
I'm just not buying it.
All right. Well, I got this one clip I want to play of Celeste. This is a clip that TMZ got their hands on this clip. This is Celeste at her house in Riverside having an argument with her neighbors. And we're going to talk about this clip real after. Let me
All the way up to the end? Right there. I'll tell you where that. See that door right there? Number 2, not that. Number 2 right there.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk? I ain't gonna let you talk. No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? All right, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why is she over here? Again.
Little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talking?
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody black right here. What are you talking about? I said we're not black over here. Why you keep calling us? You keep saying we're not black. Hey, let it go. Go back to your house. Go back to your house. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. What you gonna do? You ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing. You know what I mean? What you are? What you are but a little girl? What you but a little girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Salvador and you just tripping.
Oh my God.
Not because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl. Go over there, little girl. You ain't gonna do shit. Go. Go. What are you gonna do, bro?
Go call her dad, babe.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, little girl?
Okay.
I just put that together, okay, because I'm thinking like, did she say you ain't let me talk? You ain't gonna let your woman talk to herself. So she said you ain't gonna let the girl that said go call her dad, babe. So that's his girl talking. They neighbors and they close evidently. You could tell they close knit, and she a little faded. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, this was done in. Okay, this was recorded in September of. So she's just turning 14 at this time. And there was an issue about she's like, I'm not Mexican. I'm
El Salvadorian.
I'm El Salvadorian.
Yeah, but she used the N-word to him. He said, we ain't black. Don't call us no N-words. And she's like, we Southsiders. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I'm a Salvadorian. I ain't no Mexican, but sure, Salvadorians and Southsiders too. So, but she ain't talking about that on that note. But yeah, she was a little intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell they comfortable with her.
Okay, well, they were on the looks like the back patio or the driveway of the back of. This is probably the back of the apartment building. There's a couple people sitting in chairs. She's standing up and
showing her ass, acting out.
And it's recorded on a Nest camera that was propped up on one of the properties here. And she's just going off. And for a girl, a 14-year-old girl going off like that, it gives us a tiny insight into her personality. She's definitely she's got a mouth on her.
Yeah, I know girls her age like that.
She got a mouth on her, and this was in Lake Elsinore. So yeah, they do have gangs in Lake Elsinore. They got Crips in Lake Elsinore. They've had quite a few shootings and homicides that have happened in Lake Elsinore over the years. So, what do you take from all of this?
I could tell that she cool with them. She drunk. They're going back and forth. It's nothing serious. They gonna be cool the next day. The other lady is like, call her dad, like, you know what I'm saying, type ish. And then for you to cut somebody's music off, I could tell you comfortable enough. You think you got it like that. Let me talk. She was a little faded. You know what I mean?
In this TMZ article, it says, in this clip, the family sits outside the apartment building listening to music when Celeste starts yelling, accusing one of the kids of ding-dong ditching her parents' home. So apparently she was upset about a prank, and that's what prompted the argument.
There ain't nobody ding-dong ditching that, man. She faded. She faded. She drinking, I don't know what she drinking when she faded off of Corona or some shit.
Now, the video is kind of black and white. It's a little bit grainy, but TMZ was able to confirm that girl was Celeste. And TMZ usually gets it right. They've been on point for the last 20 years with very few mistakes. They were the first ones to report Michael Jackson that had died back in 2009. I thought I was like, how the hell is TMZ was a lot newer back then. I was like, how was TMZ reporting that Michael Jackson?
On it, man.
How did they report Michael Jackson died? And what is are they really the news?
Basically.
Yeah, but in 2009, TMZ was kind of new.
No.
Yeah, they just hit their 20th anniversary. So in 2009.
You think 20 years is new?
No, in 2009, that means TMZ was 4 years old.
No, I've been watching TMZ forever.
They just turned 20. So they came out in 2005. So, yeah, it's for an organization that's only 4 years old to reporting on the most famous singer in the history of the world just died.
No, but they be tapped in, man. When somebody get locked up, they be hollering at the police and getting mugshots and all that. They be, as soon as you get there, you can get booked in yet, that TMZ be calling.
Yeah, that's because Harvey Levin, the guy who created TMZ, he's been creating all these relationships in preparation for building this news empire that he built. Because, you know, he was on People's Court for many years.
I remember when they come out the court, he'd be hollering at them.
Yeah, he was the host. And
yeah, it's for the Jim saying racist shit on TV also though.
But I believe that TMZ probably got it right on this one. They was able to identify this young lady as Celeste Rivas, going off on her neighbors who happened to be Southsiders. And they didn't really appreciate her using the N-word on her.
Yeah, they wanted the cool Southsiders, though. You could tell. I could hear it.
Yeah.
They raised around blacks. You could tell the difference. I could hear it in their voice. Like, they raised around blacks. They go to school with some 1,200 blocks or I don't know.
So what's this girl, 14 years old, Salvadoran girl, throwing the N-word around for?
Because she be around blacks.
Yeah. She's been hanging out with David for, obviously. At this time, she's known David for 2 years if she met him when she was 12. And you know, she had been running away from home back and forth in 2024. So apparently she went back home, maybe for her birthday, because she had just turned 14 the first week of September. So that's a new video that comes up, and I think it's gonna create a lot of controversy to say she's argumentative, she likes to fight. Who knows who did this to her? Who knows who put her in the trunk? But of course, you know, the police ain't gonna be fooled by this audio from a year ago.
She just sound like an inner city teenager that's acting the way they act when their parents not around.
Yeah. All right, man. Where can people tap in with you?
MB_ the mayor on Instagram. Same thing on Twitter. And Morals Over Money TV on YouTube, man. Subscribe, help me get my subscribers up. I'm getting up there. I'm climbing up there. I'm already monetized, but it still helped me, you know what I'm saying, and support. I appreciate it.
Get them subscribers up. Go over there and subscribe. And I have never said this before, but I'm going to say free Diddy because I think that
it's a first. We've been covering this for months.
Yeah, but with based on his conviction, he should be sentenced to time served, and let him come home. And I'm at Alex Alonso 101 on all platforms. Tap in with your boy StreetTV. If you want to listen to this podcast in its entirety, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. And we out.